Welcome back to the Badass Reset Club. I'm your host, Heather Yancey, and I'm dishing it up today because a lot of us need to hear this. As I'm recording this, it is the end of summer. Womp womp, my favorite season. I know a lot of us feel the same way. It's really hard to transition into fall. And it could be because where I live, we have a very long rainy season, and it can be really tough, especially if you have any sort of seasonal affective disorder, which, hey, that's me. I get it every year. And it feels like the older I get, the harder it is. So I'm working on that. That's my issue. I'm working on that. Maybe a whole nother podcast. But what I want to talk about are these end of summer resets that we need. We have today for you 5 ways to reclaim your routine. I don't know about you, but when seasons change, there's something that's just, it comes natural. There's this wanting to have a different perspective, to have a different work ethic, to have a different focus. And that is a beautiful design. Summer is this airy fairy kind of, whimsical. Everything feels a little lighter. The days are longer. It's just warm. That sun just helps us to feel good. But sometimes we crave a little bit of structure. I've been hearing it lately in my DMs, in client conversations, and even from friends just saying, I got to get back on track. So maybe you've let this summer be like just the full travel experience, staying up later, eating all the deliciousness of summer. I just had the best huckleberry ice cream yesterday when I was hiking in Mount Rainier National Park. That is part of summer. That's a summer experience. Like, I sure hope that you've had some of that. And whether you've had a lot of that or just a little bit here and there, you still probably are like, yeah, I made some memories. I really enjoyed myself, but it's time. Because we've got to acknowledge that summer can feel like this natural transition point. You got kids going back to school, work rhythms change, and of course the weather's shifting. I am an early bird. I wake up really early, and I love in the Pacific Northwest from June through July, we have like 4:45 a.m. brightness. So for this 5 a.m. girl, it's great to get up and have a cup of coffee outside and listen to the birds and see the sunrise, but it's shifting. So today, when I got up, I had to wait until like 6:30 to go sit out in the front porch because it was dark. So yeah, it's coming. That weather is shifting. But many people feel like this urge to get more grounded and to feel that structure and routines and get intentional with their goals, with their habits, with their lifestyle. So this is a great time to reestablish routines that support your fitness, routines that support your nutrition and your overall wellness. So I've got 5 reset strategies for you today. And the last one is my most favorite practice. So make sure to stick around. Number 1, the thing that we need to do and the thing that's going to be really helpful with especially the season changing is to reset your sleep and your wake cycle to get that schedule tighter. Summer often means like late nights, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. When we've got a good chunk of our summer bright until 10 p.m., we've got late nights. We've got lots of daylight to go and conquer. It can also mean that we're traveling more. And so we get off of our sleep cycle when we're traveling more. And it means, again, looser routines. So what we're going to focus on is start going to bed and waking up at consistent times to resync your body clock, your circadian rhythm, to reset. Now, if you wear a tracking watch, ring, whatever, it's going to probably offer you some help. It's going to push you a little bit in that direction to try to have consistent bedtimes. I know that my watch has been telling me, "Hey girl, knock it off. Go to bed at the same time," because this past weekend I had a concert, I had a baseball game, I was out late hiking in the national park. Like my bedtime shifted, and so it's telling me it's time to get back in, and my body can feel that too. I wake up at the same time every day, regardless of what time I go to bed. So going to bed at the same time is key. And as we come out of the summer months, it's going to get easier for us to do. We need to know that sleep is that foundation of recovery, of energy, of discipline. It's really like I'm putting this as number one because it is kind of the most important thing that we need to do to help us transition into this next season. And then here's your action tip on that. Like choose a going to bed time and a waking up time and stick to it for at least 7 days. Now, if you've been pushing the candle and you've been like going to bed really late for a long time, you're going to start in 15-minute increments and do that for a few days, get solid on it, and then bump it by 15 minutes again. You don't want to be someone who's going to bed at 11, 12 at night and trying to be in bed at 9. That's not going to work out so good for you. You're going to lay in bed with your eyes open and your thoughts just wild. So think about these things and then start making those baby steps. That's going to be the number one way to hit that reset. Number 2, we're going to plan and prep nutrition. Hey, we've heard this one before. In the summer, you think about you've got all these indulgences, and it really helps to get a little more intentional with your eating when you have a plan. So meal planning and prepping does not mean like you have to spend an entire day chopping and getting things in cute little containers and having them all stacked nicely in the fridge. That helps, but you do not have to do that. I don't do that. I make sure that I'm doing this next piece, which is planning what I'm having during the week and then making sure that the grocery shopping is on a set day. So that's going to reduce some of the decision fatigue. Now, if you're buying a lot of produce, which I hope you are going to have to go to the grocery store more than once a week. But knowing what you're going to have. So it doesn't have to be super fancy. It can just be like, we're doing chicken on Monday. On Tuesday, we're doing turkey. On Wednesday, we're doing fish. Like, just keep that simple. Breakfasts and lunches, that can be an easy no-brainer. That can be leftovers. That can be like a couple staples that you love. Knowing that you're getting what you need in it, knowing that you're getting your protein and your fiber, all that good stuff. But for dinner purposes, have a plan, have your food. That way you're not at the end of the day tired and trying to figure everything out. When we want to, what we want to look for though is focusing on whole foods, right? Hydration and balanced meals. It's not rocket science. It's just getting you back on track with planning and prepping your nutrition. And so if we think about this, like back to routine, the meal templates, like for example, maybe you're going to have a smoothie or eggs for breakfast, and you're going to have some kind of bowl for lunch where you're having your salad or a grain and your proteins. When you're doing that and then thinking about like what kind of protein and veg am I having for my dinner, it becomes a lot easier. So those are things that you can take action on right away. When you're looking at starting off, going back to school, or maybe work's changing a little bit, or maybe you're just wanting to really button it up, go print something out and put it on your fridge. Print out a piece of paper, put it on your fridge, or put some sort of calendar on your fridge and just write down what that protein and veg is going to look like and keep it simple. That way you are ready for it. Plus, having a plan always makes you feel a little more motivated or a little more driven to follow through. Number 3, we're going to set a fitness routine and we're going to do it. Oh, that sounds pretty basic, Heather, right? Well, I'm going to tell you something. after programming workouts for people for a long time, they have plans. They don't always do it. So this is a twofold piece. This is be realistic. You don't want to overcomplicate it. You just want consistency over that intensity. So being realistic, how many workouts are you going to be able to stick to for the first week of a new routine or a new structured routine? If the answer is 3, great. Then part 2, commit to it. I'm going to commit to it because I'm going to do all the things to set it up for success. When we come back into some sort of structure, oftentimes my clients will tell me like, I'm going to work out every day. Load me up, Heather, give me 7 days of working out. I won't do it. I will throw in walking on some of the days because I know that that's going to be too much for them. I know that it's going to overwhelm them and then they're just going to stop. So we have to make sure that it's a structure that we're going to follow. It's not overcomplicated. It's something that's doable. So think about this, like pick 3 to 4 maybe anchored workouts per week and then schedule them like your appointments, right? They're on your calendar. Maybe you're better doing them in the morning so that you aren't fatigued by the afternoon and more, likely to be like, I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe that's something that's going to work for you better. It's just knowing that this is your thing. You get up, you do it, and then you carry on with your day. And you have built in those small wins that you feel good about. Think about mixing your strength, your cardio, your mobility work. All of those things are going to feel well-rounded. So we can have a non-overwhelming, non-overcomplicated week planned out, but it needs to incorporate all the things that we need. Then we're feeling good and we're going to stay with it. So you can call those like your bare minimums and write down your bare minimums. Write down your bare minimums for like the first 2 weeks. What will you absolutely stick to? And then you commit to it. And sometimes committing to it means you're going to tell somebody else about it, or you're going to involve somebody else in it, whether it's a coach, a friend, a partner. Maybe you're going to just look for an accountability buddy, whatever that's going to do and whatever that's going to look like for you to solidify that. You just got to make it happen. I have said this many, many, many times in life that motivation is a fickle bitch. And she is. She's very fickle. She'll be there and then she's gone. She ghosts you. She dusts you. And so we've got to do all the things to put ourselves into the position that we don't have to rely on motivation solely. Now, yes, we do need some motivation to make things happen, to get things started. But that can come with the things that we're doing to put things into place. Okay, so let's get this example. You wake up in the morning, you have your planned workout, you have your clothes laid out, you've got your shoes laid out, you've got a protein drink in the fridge ready to go for after, but you don't feel like working out. Can we all just say that that's happened? It happens to me. Fitness experts don't feel like working out all the time. Maybe not even half the time. But this is something that we do because there is this learned habit that we know, and we've got the receipts, we've got the data, we've got the hormones that we've felt from doing these workouts over and over, that we know that we're going to feel better after it's over. We know we're going to have that sense of accomplishment. We know we're going to have that win for the day. And we know that we're improving our wellness, our fitness, our mindset, all of it. So that in itself becomes a quiet motivation. Motivation doesn't have to be like cheerleaders on the side. It doesn't have to be like this, yes, I am so excited to work out. It can just be like, I know better. I'm tired, but I know better. And you've heard me say it too. Energy begets energy. So if you start that first 10 minutes of your workout and you're like, all right, I feel that energy coming in. That is exactly where you needed to be. You needed to be in that workout. But if your body's tired that day and you start your workout and you feel like, I got nothing, then maybe that's a great day to go do some stretching, some mobility work, and then come back when you are fully rested. So we train smart around here. Yes, we do. Number 4, this is actually, you're going to be like, wait a minute, Heather, why aren't you talking about fitness and nutrition and hormones and all of those things? Because this actually comes into play, especially if you get easily distracted. So number 4 is decluttering and resetting your environment. You know, a chaotic environment is like equivalent to chaotic habits. And I don't know about you, but like I can't get distracted by anything else. There's too many distractions in life, too many text messages, too many alerts and prompts and things. Like it's just too much. So I need to keep things a little more organized. You know, when you clean up your kitchen and you stock it with healthy foods and you create like designated workout spaces, you feel so much better, right? Like those environments that are set up for success are really, they're aesthetically pleasing. They make you want to be there. They make you want to eat that food. It's for a reason. Even tidying up your workspace, it can help you to boost your mental clarity and it can really help focus. And midlife ladies need help with focus. We have a little bit of brain fog. It's just something that's part of it. So if you can pick up one space at a time, so think maybe it's going to be your fridge, maybe it's going to be your closet, maybe it's going to be your desk, then you build to the next one. And think about all the spaces and things that you could hit the reset on just this week. I needed to work on a project last week. And as I sat in my office was really distracting. It had way too many piles. We're in the middle of a bathroom renovation at my house. And so things from other rooms have ended up in the office. It's a mess. And I needed, I'm going to be honest, a little honesty here. I needed something from the closet recently. So my closet in the office is also where I store all of my wrapping paper, boxes, cards, files, photos, photo albums. It's something to be seen. But it was like a volcano erupted because I needed one thing out of there and then it was all over my office and then I couldn't sit down and focus. I couldn't work. So what was supposed to be, I set my timer on my phone for 15 minutes to clean up, to tidy up. And about 2.5 hours later, I had a massive pile for Goodwill, a massive pile for recycling, some trash. That closet got cleaned out. But that helped me really reset and declutter at least my office environment. So I'm not asking you to go spend 2.5 hours cleaning something out. What can you start with? Maybe it's just a drawer. Can you start with decluttering that? And then that will help you to reset your environment. And that does help you to choose better habits and spend your time wiser. Okay, number 5, and one of my favorite things. You're going to build micro rituals into your day. Little micro rituals to reset in your day. Routines aren't just about these big workouts or fancy meal plans. Small rituals anchor your day. And what I mean by that is you can almost think of it as habit stacking. Like when I am making my coffee in the morning, I drink a glass of water. Maybe it's like while you're getting up and getting going, maybe you journal for 5 minutes in the morning. And these little rituals help you to like anchor in the next big things. Maybe it's a morning walk. Maybe it's a 5-minute stretch break at a certain time of day. Maybe it's, writing some gratitude in your journal, whatever it is. If you can create these little micro rituals, all of a sudden you start building these incredible routines. And if you can build these little rituals in and around wellness that you want to focus on, perfect. So maybe that means at the top of the hour, or when you get off of a Zoom call, or when you're done working with XYZ. Maybe that means you start to get some steps in. You cruise around your house, you cruise around the office. Maybe it means you're going to do some body weight squats just to move through your joints and get a little bit of work in. Maybe it means you're going to do some alignment stretches and, like extend your arms up overhead and squeeze your shoulder blades together and do some of those raises. Whatever these little micro rituals are, you create them. They're going to be for you to stick to. But that's really how we build these solid routines. It doesn't just happen by, chance that these amazing routines come into play. Let me walk you through a little bit more of mine. And I'm not saying that mine are right or wrong. This is just what I do. But while I am making my coffee in the morning, while I'm waiting for that to drip out of the coffee pot, I am drinking water. I am opening up the blinds. I am letting light in. I am taking some breaths, and I'm doing a little stretching in the kitchen. So what does that take? Like 2 minutes? That's something that just naturally happens. It's just like brushing my teeth. That's little micro rituals. But I've gotten some movement in with the stretching, with the breathing. I'm getting some light into my eyes, and I'm getting hydration back on. 2 minutes, right? Let me tell you another little micro ritual I have. Before I work out, I walk for 5 to 10 minutes. You might be thinking, well, hey, Heather, that sounds like it's kind of part of your workout. But no, it's just getting some blood flow in my body. It's helping me to get some steps. In 5 to 10 minutes, I can get some good steps in. Sometimes I'm doing it on the treadmill. Sometimes I'm doing it outside, but that's part of what I do. I also, let's go back up just a little bit, because when I'm drinking my coffee, I am taking myself outside and I am getting sunlight. I'm getting direct light into my eyes for at least 10 minutes. So that's while I drink my coffee. I'm doing Wordle. I'm also looking at the weather for the day. I'm doing any sort of personal growth, listening to or reading at that time. And we're talking about 10 minutes. So I'm not talking about reading a whole chapter or listening to something incredibly long. We're talking about short little snippets. I like to feed my body while I'm getting my circadian rhythm settled and getting that direct light in. I like to feed my body with positive, uplifting things. So that could be prayer time. That could be your journaling time. That could be a learning time. Like using your time that way to create these baller routines is just really smart. So those are some of like the rituals that I tie into my day. Now, then my day gets a little away from me because I'm with clients and I'm busy. But at the end of the day, I have some anchoring little micro rituals that I'll share with you too. I love to go and walk in the evening. I love it because I'm not sitting down after dinner and I don't feel like heavy and weighed down. I love to see the sun starting to come down in the sky. And while we can do that before the rain season hits, I'm sucking it up. This is just part of my evening ritual. And then I'll go and I'll look at my garden and my flowers and I'll maybe water or just kind of check things out. I like to be outside as much as possible. When I come back in and it's time to start getting ready for bed, rarely am I watching TV or anything like that. Because I just feel like this time of year is fleeting. So I am bringing it down. Sometimes I'll sit in the sauna. Sometimes I'm taking my shower, but I'm like bringing it down. It's getting calmer. And then I read. It's just what I do every single night before I go to bed. I read. And the lights are dim. I've got some essential oils going. Maybe I've sprayed them on my pillow. But these are just the little rituals that help me to start to let the body know, hey, it's time to start cooling it down. Now, my watch will also tell me, like, hey, girl, time to start winding down. And it usually says that at about 7 p.m. But these are what I do. And these are what help us to have routines. So I'm just sharing that with you because a lot of times clients or people will tell me, like, you're so disciplined. I don't know if it's discipline. I think it's just I have attached things to my routine for so long that this is just who I am. It's a no-brainer for me. And it can be for you too. So if you feel like you are in need of some end of the summer routines, of getting structure going, try these 5 things. Work on your sleep times, work on going to bed and waking up, work on that schedule, work on planning and prepping your nutrition and focusing on whole foods, work on setting that fitness routine and the stuff that you'll actually do. Don't overwhelm it. Don't overcomplicate it. And then you're going to declutter and reset your environment wherever you need to, because it sure does feel good. And the last one is building those micro rituals into your day to anchor in solid badass routines. And that is what I wanted to share with you this week. So just like a reminder that a reset doesn't need to be anything extreme. It can be small. It's intentional. It's intentional actions done consistently that create that ripple effect of our health. And maybe you're going to start with just like one of those categories and see, like, hey, is it going to be your sleep? Is it going to be your food? Is it going to be your fitness? And commit for the next week or 2. See how it goes and then add in more. You don't have to do them all at once. So I would love for you to share what reset habit you're going to choose and let me know. Send me a message in Instagram, on Facebook, in social media. Let me know what you're going to do. Let me know how I can support you on this. And I really wish you a beautiful transition into this next season. Thanks so much for listening today to the Badass Reset Club. We will see you next time. Stay badass.